I had actually started working in 1960, done a couple series prior to the Munsters, and a lot of guest starring roles. And my agent knew that she convinced them to fly me in from Illinois, which they did eventually. And I went over to the from the airport to the studio and did a screen test with Yvonne DiCarlo and got hired on the spot.
From seeing television production starting in 1964 to where it was a giant crew to like now where any person with a YouTube camera can make their own stuff, like
it's a different world. Technology, yeah, it is. It's quite different than it used to be in a lot of respects. Although, it's kind of neat. People with talent and an iPhone can edit and make movies and stuff. So that's kind of a good thing for people.
Yeah,
it could be good and bad.
Yeah, that was my whole. I mean, I wasn't trying to like put you on the spot or anything, but like, there's so much. Like, I feel like we're oversaturated with everybody wants their own TV shows, and then you have spin-offs that you have to go online and get, and it's almost too much. Like,
well, I would agree with you, especially when you look at news. Everybody's paparazzi with their damn iPhone. So happy that I grew up. I was born in '53. I caught a little bit of the '50s, did all my work in the '60s and '70s, and was lucky enough to have a real childhood with bicycles and go-karts and dirt bikes. And,
yes.
And climbing up trees and jumping off roofs and, hitchhiking to the beach and all of the good things that kids today will never have a grasp of what it was really like to hang out with your pals and come home for dinner when the street lights went on and not worry if you locked your door or not have to worry about getting shot or anything. If you had a problem, you went down to the railroad tracks and got into a fist fight, then you shook hands and home.
I don't know if it's like the social media part of it, but like everybody wants their 5 seconds, and you've got kids that are putting up really, pardon my language, but dumb shit on social media and basically diming themselves. Think about, all right, man, like you were a kid in like the 60s and early 70s. Like, think about the things that you did. If you would have videotaped those, like that's all bad.
Of course, yeah.
That's all bad.
No, it's, there's, people say, well, why don't they do something like that today? And I try to explain to them, I go, you got to remember that television in the 60s was basically reflecting what was going on in the social interaction with the world. That was how the world was looking at things, and people made fun movies, and they made TV shows about monsters and witches and My Favorite Martian, this kind of stuff, because it was a very simple, fun time to go home and watch the TV set to be entertained after a hard day's work, and weekends were for the movies, and weeknights were for television. And now, with society the way it is, that's why you have the that's why you have the crap that's on there, because basically that's where we are right now. We're in a really bad way.
Butch, how you doing? I came in late. My name is Jazz. Like, when the first thing, like when we were talking, you could just throw a phone at any time and shoot in 4K with a phone. Like, and like you started off like in black and white. It was fascinating to me, like how you saw that from a perspective. Anybody could shoot anything with a perfect 4K video with an iPhone nowadays, but you had to like start from the bottom where it was like black and white and like
a full movie set.
Pretty much like where it is right now. Like
we did. Well, one of the interesting things about the Munsters was it was shot like a little mini movie. It was shot on a single, crab dolly, single reflex Mitchell camera on film, and Universal was the monster studio, so they took advantage of the techniques and the looks and the lighting and set design from the classic monster movies to make the Munster household look so cool, with the cobwebs and the lighting and all that great stuff. They had the producers of the show had done Leave It to Beaver for 6 years, so they had a very, very popular kid-friendly family parenting, all that kind of formula was in place to jump over to Friendly Monsters, and they just put the two together and put them in a blender, and out came the Munsters to everybody's pleasure.
Those characters, man, I mean, resonate but Herman Munster was one of my favorite characters from My Cousin Vinny and the original Pet Sematary, and then like South Park has a character of Herman Munster that they bring up like repeatedly in different episodes, and it's that cultural from the show kind of thing. There's still stuff
I had a very I was at a big convention recently, and I don't know if you know who the actor Robert Wool is. He was Arliss.
Yes.
And, sports agent, and he's a big, he was also in a couple of baseball movies. He's a big sports fan. And he came up to me in the green room, and it was funny because I was going to go introduce myself to him. And he came up to me and he goes, Butch, I got to ask you a question. He goes, were you aware of the greatness that you were working with Mr. Fred Gwynn at the time?
Yeah,
and I said, that's a very nice compliment. And I go, and actually, no. I mean, I knew he was really talented, and I go, but it wasn't, at the time, I don't think anybody was aware of how good the show was and how good he was. But because he was so good, it came back to bite him in the butt, because whatever he did after that was always compared to his Herman Munster.
Like creepy he was in Pet Sematary, but he played a mildly straight, kind of a not cool guy. Like even when he was the judge in like My Cousin Vinny, he was real straight and like proper, and his accent like I didn't do my research to like see where like he was from, but wherever his accent, like it was a very like snappy, like
he's a Harvard graduate and old money, of Massachusetts, Connecticut area, lived in Maryland. A regular guy. He was kind of a Renaissance guy. He could, he played guitar on the set. He drew pictures. He sculpted. He painted. Did voiceover work. He did Broadway. He could do almost anything.
Was it tough, as you being a kid, was it tough to balance out probably the school and the production schedule as well?
Now, they make sure you get hours a day, and then when you think about it, 3 hours a day is plenty of schooling for one person, one-on-one. Especially if you're moving along pretty fast. I'll take 3 hours one-on-one over 6 hours in a group of screaming other kids.
Yeah, that's true too. Yeah.
Well, and I was always old for my age. I was more comfortable around older people. So for me, being the only kid on the sound stage, except when I had guest stars, it didn't bother me at all.
So I noticed that you referred to Herman's driving around in a Volkswagen. I heard that you have the Munster Mobile.
I have a Munster and I have a Dragula, although I did sell the Dragula to my friend, and I'm building another one. But yeah, about 7 or 8 years ago, I met a gentleman who was hired at a haunted attraction to drive me around in his Munster coach. He and I became friends. We tried to with bookings. I would try to get his car booked. He would try to get me booked, and we would work together whenever possible.
Yeah.
And I wound up buying his truck and trailer and cars from 5 years ago.
Nice. Man, that was like, I build my own motorcycles. I'm an old school hot rod kid, and like the Munster Mobile and all like the George Barris style stuff from back then. Really, man, like I have some of those Hot Wheel cars still like hidden away in like tissue paper. Basically.
I know I had at least one. I'm never gonna lie.
Yeah,
definitely did.
Well, the Munsters also had one of the reasons I tell people that it's so good is because, number one, the set design, the people, all the different teams that were on that show, the music, the sets, the makeup, the cars, all of the guest stars, the writing. There wasn't really a weak link in the chain. It was very, very strongly and professionally produced with quality people. And it shows.
No, I mean, because we talked about it, and when I realized when it came, I was born in '85, and I know everything about the Munsters. I was like, why do I know this? Like, it makes no sense for me to know. Like I felt like it was something that grew up with me. Like, this is way beyond my time. It was something that lasted. Like I could think of it, like in that time frame, was something that came before like I was born. It was Sanford and Sons. Yeah. I can remember that, and I can remember the Munsters. And it has no reason for it. Yep. Like, you had longevity to like your show, and it baffled me. Like, to realize like what year I was born. It's like, yeah, I noticed like it was like it came out
20-something years.
Yeah, it came out like 5 years. Like, it came out when I was 5. Like, that's how I felt. But it was like way before I was born.
Well, the kids today, if they're introduced, when I go out and do personal appearances, the people my age, I'm 66. That's a shoe-in. People older than me, that's a shoe-in. But the people in the 30 range, some don't really know about it because they weren't introduced to it. But it's funny how the younger kids, the grandparents or aunts or uncles for some reason have introduced them to the show, and if they see it once, they like it and watch it. It's just the fact whether or not they've been introduced to it, and most of them have.
For me, like, because they were like, Mark was like, don't say it. Like, my mom, like, when I was a kid, like, when I needed to get a haircut, I was like, you need to shape up that haircut. You look like Eddie Munster. That's what she literally used to say to me. Like, so I always embedded him. I was like, who? I was like a 5. I was like, who is Eddie Munster? Like, why are you calling me that? Like, it was like your hairstyle.
Yeah.
Like, so yeah, you got like a
The
little extra.
The widow's peak. Yeah, I explain that to people. I say, I have the best of both worlds because Al Lewis, Grandpa, looked like Grandpa with or without his makeup.
Yeah.
I can wander around and do anything I want to do, and most people don't recognize me. And if I do want to be recognized, all I have to do is put an Eddie Munster shirt on, and just people say, "Oh, you look like that
dude.
guy." Because
I'm gonna text my mom after this, and I'm gonna be like, "Yeah, I was talking to Eddie Munster," and like just like cause she said it to me so much. I was a kid, like so it'd be a good laugh. Like, yeah, really, yeah. That's what you always called me when I was younger.
So, Mr. Patrick, like I saw that you're involved with Rise Botanicals.
Rise is, when I got let me see, 9 years, 4 months ago, so it'll be 10 years in November. And one of the things that I was excited about when I met Courtney with Rise was it helped people get off opiate addiction. It's very difficult. A lot of people, if they've done their homework, and now it's pretty much CBD. It was for a while they were trying to, keep it under wraps. The big pharma companies, because for years and years and years they didn't want to know the benefits of CBD,
that it actually works.
Yeah, and that it actually works, and it has worked for hundreds of years. But now they can't really stop it, and now people know about it, and it's out there. And obviously, when I stopped drinking and using and everything back then, I thought, oh my God, my life will be over because I won't have any fun. And I really like pot a lot. I haven't missed it a bit. Of the neat part, well, I did it for 41 years, so I had a good run. It wasn't like, I did with that. I was a major partier, and I threw massive parties and had a great time. But,
yeah,
enough's enough. And when I got sober, one of the things about my program is helping others. And one of the things that CBD is quality CBD. The thing with CBD is you got to really
we didn't
want to interrupt you on that, but like that was like the key, like quality CBD. But continue,
there's so much crappy, like every 7-Eleven sells CBD now, and there's so much bad stuff out there that gives it a bad name, and it doesn't do what it's supposed to do.
Courtney's grandfather, it's funny, she's her grandfather was like the world's most famous horse jockey back in the 40s, Eddie Arcaro. And so she's always been around horses. And we grew up out in California near each other. She's younger than I am, but we both ran in the same circles in the same area. And I like horses. My uncle was a jockey. Her grandfather was a jockey. So originally, a lot of the CBD stuff was actually made for animals.
Yes.
The horses and the dog stuff. And then people started using it as well, and it was across the board for any really living thing. It can be warm-blooded, mammals, and it can be helpful for anything. But the deal is quality control is where, when Courtney, she used to be a grower out in California, and then she thought that was kind of an iffy situation with the feds, so she got into the CBD angle and actually helped with the legislation with Mitch McConnell in Kentucky to get it off of the class, I think it's class 3 or something. She knows her stuff. She does it it's a quality product. It's really, really good. It really works, and everybody that I've turned on to it. So, yeah, I'm very proud of the association I have with Rise Botanicals.
Yeah, that's been, like, we're a big plant-based, like, positive show. Like, basically, like, man, like, I have a couple friends that are in with Magical Butter and that kind of stuff. When you talk to people and they're like, oh, CBD, yeah, like, I bought some at, like, the Citgo station, and I'm like, nah. Like,
at a quick gas station just to grab it just for the hell of it.
Yeah, like, oh, I wanted to try it, and I'm like, nah, that's not gonna, man, like, you're gonna be, that gives it a bad name almost.
Clear it is. Everybody jumped on the bandwagon. That is true. But crap fell off pretty quickly. The good companies survived. Hers was a good company. Charlotte's Web was a good company. And Rise is a small company. There's only her husband and me and the gentleman that handles the for the business. So it's a small company, but it's a quality company, and it's going to be a force to be reckoned with. And I'm really happy that I've gotten in early to help them get some notoriety and some exposure. In fact, with a whole box full of stuff. She's got the honey sticks for the coffee in lieu of sugar. She's got the soaps. She's got the lip balm. She's got the gummies. There must be 30 to 40 different ways to ingest or eat or smoke or whatever you want, whatever your method of getting this stuff into your system. She's got it. I personally don't really swallow it, but I use the Calm Balm on my knees and my joints and stuff when I'm getting old, just because people get old and
that's what I wanted to ask about, because I looked, because like a bull sent us a link and I looked up, I saw like the balm cream. I said, yeah, just like a quick little. I said I wanted to ask like if it was something that you actually use, and like because I know a good, like, because Mark, like, he had like a good like tincture of like
I got
CBD.
a tincture CBD from like the Magical Butter guys. That was the most amazing
I'm
thing ever.
I'm a cannabis person, and like it's normal to me.
I'll tell you, let me go on to another thing as well. One of the other things I want to talk about is, well, I've been touring the country the last 5 years, and a friend of mine who is a big YouTube guy that's got 168 videos, and his channel is called Alpha 11 with I think he's got about 165,000 subscribers, and he's a friend of mine who's a filmmaker, and he got me involved in the channel called Coach to Coast. Like, my Coach channel is, while I go around the country, he finds interesting, and I find interesting little things to do segments of, because there used to be a show back in the 60s and 70s called Charles Kuralt's On the Road, the original RV guy. He was driving around the country, a typewriter, a driver, and a sound guy, 3 guys, and he would go just see Americana at ground level.
I love a road trip, and I love like the idea of like, we're gonna go get in an RV and
just
go
travel the country
and go see some shit, man.
That's what I'm leaning towards doing. Is my Coach to Coast is going to evolve in a motorhome.
Okay.
Munch the Coach behind me as my tow vehicle, and then what I'll do is I'll go into big RV places and then interview people on their lifestyles and their stories and history and how they got to be where they are, because everybody's got a story, and that's what I'm looking forward to doing. And the fact that I'll have a Munster Coach along, and maybe we'll do like a blow up a screen for a drive-in movie and have everybody watch Munster episodes in the center of the campground park or whatever. Well, I also I'm going to be working with I'm going to do a radio show off the same feed when I'm doing my segments, and I figured my going to be nothing but road music, because there's so many great road songs. Growing up in the 60s and 70s, it's like every rock and roll band's got a couple road songs.
Yeah, I can't tell you.
They'll appreciate it. People will appreciate it. Like a good.
I can't tell you how many times my dad played Allman Brothers' Jessica on road trips when I was little. Like stuff like that, where you're like, we're going somewhere. Like, all right, I'm going to hear this song at least like twice during this 4-hour trip.
Well, my deal is I'm going to go into small towns, and I'm going to find out what's interesting in that small town, get the mayor to ride with me. He can sit shotgun. We'll drive around town, get the local historian, and do a little segment on Middle America. It's interesting. It's fun. It's the wave of the future, and it's going to allow me to go all over the world with a camera and on YouTube's dime.
Yeah, well, no, I like, man.
Shout out to YouTube's dime. Yeah.
Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a good job, and I'm going to see the world, and people are doing it. So it's like, if that's how people are doing it, Eddie Munster puts out a good product. Right. I get to meet. I put in interesting people, a lot of effort in. Do it right, exactly.
That's all.
If you get a chance, look at Coach to Coast, and look at the Ava Gardner's a good one. That's one of the more recent ones that I did.
Oh, nice. Gardner. Where is your favorite city/state that you've been to so far?
And what's your next what's your next spot you really want to go to?
Haven't been to is Alaska. I'm working on that, but I'm not going to drive to it. I'll just have to take a cruise up there.
Yeah.
As far as I have lived in 25 different states, and they all offer something. They do. I liked Austin back in the 80s. Had it had an ocean, I probably would have stayed, but it got too crowded. And then I lived in Atlanta, I lived in Austin, I lived in Chicago, I lived in Vegas, lived in Phoenix, lived in Orlando, lived in Long Island, lived in Connecticut, lived in Pennsylvania. Oh my God, I've lived everywhere.
Man, that's
literally lived it. I literally have lived everywhere, and I have family where I haven't lived. I have friends and family, so that's one of the deals with my road tour and my road trip is I can't drive. I've lived in Nashville. In fact, I'm hoping to go back to Nashville because it's really that's really
a cool
fun town. Yeah, and a lot of stuff going on there. So anyway, we're going to be signing off. I wanted to mention Munsters.com is where everybody can go to see where I'm at, and what I'm up to. That's pretty much the easiest to remember. We have an official Munsters fan group with 21,000 members.
Munsters.com.
Facebook.
Munsters.com.
Munsters.com. And, of course, we have Facebook and this and that. But Munsters.com, the official Munsters fan group, Coach to Coast, and Rise CBD. If you want to go get a free discount or a free sample, all you do is go to Butch4RiseCBD.com.
Butch, I'm gonna have Bull private message you because I actually make a lot of stuff, and I would love to
to get his opinion.
I would like to cook up some like share some recipes and see if I could do a CBD recipe instead of a THC.
Okay, no problem.
Thank you, Butch Patrick. I appreciate it, man, calling in. It's wonderful to meet you in person and talk to you on the phone. And please, man,
all right, man.
Come
Thanks,
call
bud.
the show anytime. We'll talk again soon, all right?
Good luck, guys. Bye-bye.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Appreciate it.